I just want to welcome you to our legal hour. So today is going to be very interesting. As you have known, for the past couple of weeks, we have been talking about some very exciting topics coming from, the financial ombudsman and how you can claim and things like that. So today we are going to be talking about immigration law and how you can, whether or not you are able to bring your child over to the UK, even if you do not have an immigration, your your papers completed. So today I'm going to have our very own lawyer Thomas here today to answer all those questions for you. So please sit tight, because it's going to be very interesting, because I know a couple of people who ask the questions, a lot of questions like that, and I know it's going to be very interesting for you. So today, go ahead and share the link, share it to your friends on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, wherever you are watching from, YouTube, wherever you're watching from. Please just go ahead and share as we go on a little bit of break, so that lawyer Thomas can get ready to join us. So see you in a minute. Welcome back, everyone. Joining me is lawyer Thomas, who is going to be discussing the changes on immigration law recently, and how it is that you, as a person of immigrant, can bring your child here even if you do not have indefinite leave. So, as we have our lawyer Thomas here, go ahead and welcome him. Go ahead and type on the chat below, comments, welcome lawyer Thomas. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
I hope you're prepared and ready to answer our questions, because I know a lot of people are ready to get the information.
Yes, people. In fact, to start with, it's a privilege to be here tonight, and also to thank viewers who have always been there to make this program a success. And it's because of them that's why we are here. So tonight is another opportunity for us to give an update of the law, specifically on immigration law, the changes taking place currently, and above all, as you have rightly pointed out, how parents can bring their younger children to join them to form a family unit. It's so important that children's welfare is taken into account, and the relevant families get their children to join them within the immigration rules so that they can be part of their life and then help them to progress in life.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to be asking Lawyer Thomas a series of questions, which is going to be very interesting because, you know, for some of us that are Africans, we know that we leave our children behind when we're migrating to different countries, and it's very important for us to obviously, you know, join our family members abroad and all that kind of stuff. You leave your children behind for years and years, and so Lawyer Thomas is going to give you all the updates and on how you can actually go ahead and bring your children over here if you have any children in Africa that you are actually planning on bringing. So Lawyer Thomas, can you please explain to us why you chose this topic tonight?
Quite an interesting question. Obviously, this topic was chosen because for a long time, people have been of the view that unless they have either a British passport or indefinite leave to remain or some form of permanent resident, apart from the EU and their family members, which I'll give a little bit of update as we go along. Most people have been of the view that unless they have this indefinite leave to remain, or unless they have gotten British passport, they can't bring their other children born abroad to join them in the UK because they have the view that there are no provisions in the immigration rule to enable them to do that. But in fact, there are provisions in the immigration rules. So I know that sometimes people will wait and wait and wait and wait, and eventually, before they get their indefinite to remain, and then if they want to bring their children, those children have already turned 18. They are then adults, and it becomes a very difficult hurdle for them to be able to bring them or for them to join their parents here in the UK. So having considered some of the queries we're having, some of the cases that we are doing where parents will come when the children are maybe sometimes 17, almost 18, we keep asking them, why did you wait for this long? And they say, I didn't know. So obviously we thought it wise that we come on this platform and then let people be aware that there are provisions there for those parents, for those children who have been left abroad to join them here.
Yeah. Great. So before we proceed, can you just give us any updates regarding, you know, the immigration law? So any new updates that, you know, you think that the viewers might need to know?
Yes, I have lots of updates. This will probably take me a couple of minutes to finish. I want to start with the EU law. I've always loved this EU law, and in fact, Citilaw Solicitors is proud to say that we'll be very instrumental in assisting clients in most applications, which has been very successful. Sadly, as I said last week, and I will continue to repeat, the statistics showing currently is that about 34% of all EU settlement scheme applications are refused, which is a very whooping bad figure for applicants. And also, there is also information or data that most of these applications, because the Home Office is currently overwhelmed with applications, they will be pending for about 24 months, 2 years. So people may have to wait for almost a year or more before they may get outcome or a decision on the applications. With regards to the refusals, obviously, that is why lawyers, we are here. And I personally have seen most of the refusal letters. Some of them, especially for Ghanaians, there are problems that is sometimes due to Home Office misunderstanding of their marriage certificates, the date of registration, and then the date of marriage. There are cases where people have been invited for an interview for one reason or the other. Their partners, because of COVID, they are abroad, they can't attend, and the law makes it clear that those people can attend alone. And because for one reason or the other, those people don't know their right, they either don't attend or they can't offer to attend alone, and then those applications are refused.
Wow.
There are those who are not having proof of residence, because obviously because we left the EU 2020, anybody who is making this late application, again, I have said it on this platform, that these late applications are going to be there indefinitely, according to the Home Secretary speech, 16th of December 2021. So people who have the relevant documentation are still allowed to make these applications. But I'll entreat that those people seek proper advice, because as I have just said, the data shows that they are refusing as much as 34% of those applications.
Wow.
That's a bad news, but it's also a good news. The good news is that parents who have been on the parent route, when I say parent, there are people who have lived here, one reason or other, they have a child who is a British, they apply under the parent route.
Yeah.
Now, within the immigration rules, if those parents satisfy certain requirements, for example, English and financial maintenance requirement, not financial requirement, maintenance requirement, they are able to switch from 10-year route to 5-year route to indefinitely to remain.
Right.
So if you're a parent who has a child who has been here for 7 years and under 18, or born here and 7 years, you are entitled to make those applications under those rules. But the new change, which is a good news to viewers, is that previously when those parents, out of financial difficulty, have applied for their restriction on recourse to public fund to be removed, they have been forced to be on a 10-year route. So let me explain it here.
Wow.
If a parent have satisfied the English requirement, maintenance requirement, maybe that parent is having an accommodation problem.
Yes.
Because under the Children's Act, local authority have a duty to provide accommodation to those parents who have accommodation problem because of those children that they are their primary carers. But for any local authority to do that, they will normally require that parent to apply for that restriction for no recourse to public fund to be removed. And whenever those applications are made and the restrictions are removed, they are forced to be on 10-year route to indefinite leave. So it's more or less like a punishment. Now, end of January, that restriction has been removed. So it's a very good news.
Good news,
which means that you can say have recourse to public fund and still be on a 5-year route to remain. One good news. Second bad news, those who obviously are currently on bail pending deportation. In the past, they have a little bit of freedom. Once they are on bail, sometimes they sign on. Now they are going to introduce electronic GPS tagging, so which means that they are going to restrict their freedom and privacy. So those people, this again has been introduced. This was in the Conservative Manifesto in 2015, and then there is this Immigration Schedule 10 of the Immigration Act 2016, which introduced this into law, and it has currently been implemented into the Home Office policy or guidance. So it means that people who are on bail pending deportation can now have GPS electronic tagging. Having said that, one more good news, Rebecca. I got one more good news. One more good news. Obviously, care workers. You know, we within the immigration rules, you realize that there have been a lot of news about skilled workers, about the skilled worker. We have done a series of programs on this platform. The good news is that on the 15th of February 2022, finally, the frontline care workers were added to the shortage occupation list.
Wow.
Good news.
Good news.
Why is it good news? Four things. I'm going to explain why it's a good news. One, normally the financial requirement for somebody to be categorized as a skilled worker is slightly high, about 25,000 thereabout. Now, for those who are going to make this application as frontline care workers, it's been reduced to 20,480 or £10 and 10p per hour.
Wow.
That's one good news. Second point is that those people don't need to show that they have specialized qualifications like degree as engineer, as architect, or whatever. All that they need to show is just B1 English certificate. If you are not from a majority speaking English country like Canada, Switzerland, and some Caribbean countries, and America. So it means that those people coming from our own country, Ghana, they have to do obviously this B1 English certificate, which simply includes speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Just 4 things.
Yeah.
These people are also entitled to bring their wives and dependent children under 18.
Oh, that's good.
So they can migrate with the entire family. Another good third point is that the application fee is very, very low. And above all, they are also exempted for the immigration skill charge. So sponsorship certificate is $199, and the fees itself is as low as I think $464. So imagine people making application in this country. Some of our clients have to pay as much as £2,613 with NHS surcharge and home office fees. These frontline care workers pay as low as £464 application fee, and they are entitled to bring their spouses or partners and dependents under the age of 18. Isn't this a good news?
Good news.
It is a good news.
Definitely a good news.
Yes.
Definitely a good news.
So this is the update for viewers, and I'm sure that most people will be enthralled to find out that there are good news for the Records to Public Fund, good news to frontline care workers, and a little bit of sad news for electronic GPS tagging, and obviously EU settlement scheme applicants receiving 34% refusals. But hey, we are here. We are here to help you.
Are these the EU settlement? Are these for the people that live coming from European Union countries into the UK?
Yes, those who were living. Remember after
like me.
You have lived here for many years.
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm EU.
You are, and I know you don't want to use the EU, right? So, yes. Remember that December 2020, UK officially left the European Union.
Yes.
And then before that, after the Brexit vote, they introduced what they call EU settlement scheme to register all the EU nationals who were living here and then their family members. And this went on. That was the law. And it was quite generous. When applications are submitted, they just granted.
Yeah, they died. It was like 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes. And eventually, December came and passed. And then they gave people up to June 2021 to make all the applications.
Yes.
And then there was a lot of noise that, look, applications, some people are not aware. Some people, for one reason or the other, they are illiterate. Mm-hmm. Some people have computer literacy problems. Mm-hmm. So Home Office gradually extended the deadline indefinitely as I speak now.
Oh.
But this is the challenge here, or this is the insidious act where people are being refused left and right, sometimes for very fictitious reasons. But as I always say, that is why lawyers have job to do. Right. We have work to do. If you ever receive any of those digital letters, you probably have to seek advice, because we are here to assist you.
Right. So back to the topic. So just another question. So before, am I required to have an indefinite leave to remain before I can apply to bring a child who's over 18 into the UK?
No, you don't require to have indefinite leave to remain to bring a child.
Right.
But again, this question is quite ambiguous and broad. Let me take my time to explain. Now, because currently, as I speak, we have the EU settlement scheme family permit, which is ongoing.
Yes.
And you realize that the EU settlement scheme, which is ongoing, people who have been granted what they call pre-settled status, is now called limited leave to remain. Now, those people, to explain, they have a separate category of making applications because the EU settlement scheme family permit is still ongoing. So if they have children under the age of 21, and even if their partners or spouses to an EU national, they are third country national, for example, Nigerians, Gambian, they are still entitled to bring those children to join them here under the EU settlement scheme family permit. Provided those children are under 21, if they are above 21, they are meant to show what they call dependency, financial dependency. So that's one aspect of the limited leave to remain that allows people to bring their children to join them here. Yeah. The second aspect comes under what they call Appendix FM of the immigration rules. Obviously, this route is available to certain categories of people, such as parents and partners. And they normally, as I've said, there is a good news for them, normally would have been on a route, 10-year route to indefinite leave to remain, or 5-year route to indefinite leave to remain. These are the people that I'm talking about tonight, how they can bring their children to join them in the UK.
Right. So let's say if I was granted limited leave to remain on the 5 or 10 years route, would I be able to bring my children to join me in the UK?
Yes. That's a very... Yes, to answer that question, the answer is yes. But there are caveats.
Yeah. Expensive.
Sometimes it's not just the money. Sometimes there are other things that also come into play. So, can I bring my child to join me in the UK?
Yeah.
If I don't have indefinite leave to remain or have limited leave to remain, right? Okay. It's a very, very, very good question. The answer is you don't, as I've already said, you don't have to get this indefinite leave to remain to bring your child who is under 18. Yeah? So if you were granted this 5-year route or the 10-year route, how you can bring your children to join you in the UK. As I've already said, when someone is a parent, for example, that person might be a parent of a British child, or that person is a parent of a child who has been here continuously for 7 years or more, but under 18. those parents are entitled to make application.
Yeah.
And whenever they make these sort of applications, they will either be granted 10-year route or 5-year route to indefinite leave to remain. Or there are those who have been here half of their life and still under 25. I'll be surprised if those people may also have children abroad.
Yeah.
But if you have children here, then of course they will be on the same leave that their parents are having.
Right.
Or even those who have been here for 20 years, but unfortunately, I don't want to talk about that because by the time somebody is here for 20 years, the child that was born abroad would have been more than 18. So you see, having explained all these categories of limited leave to remain, I narrow it down to just 2 categories of parents.
Right.
Parents who, for whatever reason, because they have a child 7 years or more, are born in this country or brought from abroad and has been here for 7 years or more, under 18, or a parent who happened to have a child who is British. So you, for example, somebody came in, he gave birth to a child, the partner is British, he applies for passport for that child, and then that person has a British child born in the UK, she or he applies and then get 2.5, 30 months visa. You know, presumably he has other children who are under 18 abroad. So he wants to bring them. What is the way forward? The first thing is that, having explained these categories of people, there are some of them that could be partners. So normally if partners, if somebody is a partner and is coming here to join somebody with children, then they have some income requirement. If the children are coming alone, then there is only maintenance requirement, which means that the person needs to show that he or she is working and is able to maintain herself or himself and those children who are coming to join him or her without recourse to public fund. So once that maintenance requirement is satisfied, that person also needs to show that there is sufficient accommodation where those children will stay exclusively without the place being congested or being in breach of the housing regulation. So once they've satisfied this requirement, but what normally makes it very difficult for people to bring these children is what they call sole responsibility. The immigration rule requires one to have a sole responsibility of a child to bring that child, or there should be a compelling circumstances that makes it unreasonable for Home Office not to allow that child to come into this country. These are terminologies that lawyers will be able to explore when they are making applications.
Yeah, you can twist and turn it.
So when these requirements are satisfied, then the point I want people to take home today is that when they don't have indefinite leave to remain, they can still bring those children, but they can satisfy some of these requirements.
Yeah, great. So, what conditions do I need to satisfy then?
The conditions, as I've said, that person must show that he or she is probably working and earning some income, because Home Office doesn't want you to bring the child and public funds.
Yes.
You know,
they don't want you to be on benefits. That's basically. Don't bring your child and depend on them to take care of it. Yeah.
So they want you to show that you can maintain that child without recourse to public fund. You know. That's one of the conditions. And as I've said, you must also show that there is a compelling reason.
Right.
Because normally if the child is over there, that's why sometimes when people are making these applications, we have clients who mainly think that they can do these applications on their own. They get refused and then they bring it to us to do a plea for them. And it becomes very difficult because the whole process starts from the date of making that application. And the danger with entry clearance application, let me explain this on this platform, is that with in-country applications, let's say I made application in this country whilst living here.
Yeah.
Then when my application is refused and I go to the appeal, immigration tribunal, and I'm able to show that whatever Home Office was requiring for me was absent, but now I have it. Then the judge is obliged under the tribunal rules to admit that evidence in my favor.
Okay.
Now, the danger is that if you are making application from abroad, which is being considered by entry clearance officer, then it is the documents that were before the entry clearance officer. That is what the judge is compelled to take into account. So if after the application has been refused, you bring some other documents, sometimes it could be difficult for you to
take it into consideration.
Take it into account in your favor. So people are advised that whenever they are making these applications, they must be careful, because what they fail to produce today or don't produce may make it very difficult for them to succeed at the immigration tribunal when those applications are refused. Hey, but that notwithstanding, if they meet the maintenance requirement, the accommodation requirement, the sole responsibility requirement, or the compelling circumstances requirement, they are entitled, even if they have limited leave to remain, to bring their younger children who are under 18 to join them and enjoy the same life that they are enjoying in this country.
Right. So let's say I was a parent and my child has an indefinite leave to remain. Will I, as a parent, be able to apply to join my child?
Yes. Again, this is something that people don't know.
Yeah.
People don't know most of these things. And they said, lack of knowledge, my people perish. And that's why I said here we teach the law. Because normally when we come on this platform, we expose those areas that are uncommon, that people are not talking about it. To point people to those directions. That look, there are provisions here that can support your circumstances. And of course, these are provided in the Appendix FM of the immigration rules. So as long as people can show that they have some parental responsibility, again, they can also maintain themselves and all that. Then of course, they are entitled to make those applications. So as I'm saying, a child might have been brought from abroad under the age of 18, or maybe the mother came here with a child. The child was just 1 year old. The father's name is on the birth certificate as the father.
Yes.
The mother has been living here for some time. Maybe the father might have even come here 1 or 2 occasions to visit the child. He still retains that parental responsibility. Again, this is terminology that comes under the family law. And when we are doing application, we need to exploit. Yes. So when that parent, for example, who is currently living abroad, and that child who has been here for 7 years but still under 18, succeeds in making application to get limited leave to remain. Because remember, under the Appendix FM exceptions, if a parent who is have a parental relationship with a child who is born here and has lived here for 7 years, or was brought from abroad and have lived here for 7 years and still under 18, he is entitled to apply for what they call leave remain. Now the converse is that parent from abroad who have the same parental responsibility and can show maintenance is equally entitled to apply to join. So as I speak to you, there are a lot of people that may have, sometimes you know why, maybe you and your partner will be living in Sierra Leone, Gambia, Ghana. They come here, and one reason or that because of distant relationship, the relationship breaks down. Or some parents are living here, their partners are abroad. They feel that because they don't have indefinite leave to remain, even though they are living here with that child whose father is living abroad, they can't bring that father here. I am telling people, check the Adventist FM of the rules.
Wow.
Provisions are there.
Wow. That's very interesting, actually.
Yes. You know, the Bible talk about mysteries, hidden
mysteries, immigration
hidden
law.
mysteries.
You have to dig
Yes.
for you to know.
We'll bring people the hidden mysteries, that just uncover all the hidden stuff that people don't know, and because of that they are suffering in silence. Yes, so provisions are there for that to happen.
Right. So thank you so much, Lawyer Thomas. We don't have any more questions, but if you do have any questions, please go ahead and give us a call. Lawyer Thomas will be able to answer the questions whilst he's still here. But for a moment, we're going to go on advert and we'll be back really, really soon. Please bring in the questions. You can just type on the comment section as well. If you cannot call, we're here. We're going to be reading through the comment section and we will come back with your answers. Thank you so much. See you in a bit.
This was a short advert. You know why? I prefer to do the advert myself than playing the video.
Really?
So let me take my time and do that. By the way, if anybody have it, normally what we do is that we try to acknowledge viewers who are part of the program and are watching us live. But let me finish with my advert. It's very important.
Okay.
After I finish the advert, I look at people who, one reason or the other.
Right.
Yes, I have a couple of people who are watching us tonight. I have prominent people, Ernestina Kakari. Remember DJ MC Chaka, the other host?
Yes.
He's watching you.
Okay.
Yes. So we have MC Chaka, we have Eric Nyanko, and two other people watching. We have Ernestina Kakari. He said, "Lawyer, please, I have a question." Wow. Ernestina Opuni. I'm with Ernestina Opuni. Say he has a question, but he has not typed the question.
Please let us know the question.
Ernestina Opuni, we have a phone lines here on the screen. Those phone lines are now open. So you can phone in. If you have a question, I will be here to answer. Eric Nyako, he said, "Good evening, lawyer." Eric, thank you so much for being part of this show tonight. So, Ernestina, I don't know your question. You've not typed your question, so I can't answer. But if
you don't want to call, you can go ahead and just comment on the section and we can
if you want to call, you are free to call, and then I'll be able to answer your question. The phone lines are open.
Because while we're doing that, you can go ahead and just share the link so that other people can come in and answer ask some questions as well, if they need to.
Yes. So, like I said, advert is very important. You know, this program is brought to viewers by Citilaw Solicitors.
Yes.
And I want to just talk a little bit about Citilaw Solicitors so that viewers can be aware that Citilaw Solicitors, who brings this wonderful show to viewers every Tuesday, 8:30 onwards, and Thursday, is here to assist in various areas of law.
Right.
So I'm going to talk about some of the things that we do and where people can find us. Yes, if you want to look for us, Citilaw Solicitors, we are located at Barking Enterprise Center. Our office address is Unit 113 Barking Enterprise Center, 50 Cambridge Road, Barking, IG 118FG. Our office contact number is 02033550782. So if for whatever reason you want to contact us, you can contact us on that office line.
And if you don't have any access to any of those things, you can also send a message on Facebook to Lawyer Thomas.
Yes, if you send a question, obviously, or even if you go to the website, you know, you can book an appointment from there.
Because we see on Facebook a lot lately, so.
I know. Everyone is on Facebook now.
Yes.
Great. So, we specialize in immigration. Obviously, that is why we are doing this topic tonight. Right. So, we've explained to you, those of you with limited leave to remain, don't wait for your child to turn 18 years. If you're on limited leave to remain, you are still
Take the
entitled
opportunity
to,
now.
yes, to bring your child to join you in the UK. And if you don't have any lawyer, we are here to assist you. Employment law, we also specialize in employment law. If you had a problem at your workplace, whether discrimination, whether unfair dismissal, if you're being made voluntarily redundant, you need to sign settlement agreement, and you need a lawyer to advise you on the terms and the content of that settlement agreement. Don't go far. Citilaw Solicitors, we are here to assist you.
Yes, right.
We also specialize in family law. Pastor, permit me to say that we also deal with divorce.
Yes.
Yes. So, if your relationship are broken down irretrievably, and you need a lawyer to assist you in terms of your matrimonial matters, how to settle your financial matters, Citilaw Solicitors, we are here to assist you. If you have any family law matter regarding a child or children, we are here to assist you. If you want a child arrangement order, if you are having problem with your partner, there's a non-molestation order, occupation order made against you, we can defend the case for you. If you want to make any of those applications to remove somebody from occupation, don't go far. And you know why? Citilaw Solicitors, we are family law accredited. We are not just solicitors, we are family law accredited. So if when you come to us, we deal with your family law matters competently and knowledgeably. So don't go far. Personal injury and clinical negligence, again, we also specialize in personal injury and clinical negligence. So if you ever had accident, that was never your fault. There is compensation waiting for you. You have up to 3 years to claim this compensation. If you went to the NHS for treatment and you feel that there is some form of clinical negligence, again, we are here to assist. So don't go far. And then if you have any commercial dispute, somebody is owing you, you have a company, you have a partnership, you form a partnership with someone, you want agreement to be put in place, partnership agreement, we will assist you. If you have a company, you want shareholders, want directors agreement, if you want employment contract to be drafted properly for you without taking stuff from the internet and cause headache to you when there is a problem, we are here to assist. Housing and consumer law. Remember we did this consumer law last time? Yes. You know, there are a whole lot of stuff going on under the consumer law. Last week we discussed?
Yeah.
Yes, we discussed how people can claim compensation if either they were lent money irresponsibly or unaffordable lending. You know, we took our time to explain all these to viewers under our consumer law aspect of the Citilaw specialization. So viewers, it's been very, very, very nice having you tonight. I'm still waiting if there is any question from anybody. Let me check Facebook if anybody has.
Yeah, and if you feel like you're very interested about the topic, but you need more information, you know, you have more questions, you need something in depth, please go ahead.
That the studio line is not going through. Someone's
calling.
Yeah, I'm surprised that somebody said it's not going through.
Hello, lawyer. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, you are on air. You can talk. We can hear you.
Please, can I speak Chi or English?
Yes, speak Chi. You can speak Chi. You are permitted to speak any language.
Okay. Lawyer Patrick, good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Mr. from Ernestina. Last year, Bana or Coventry. Or free Italy nearby. No Coventry.
Yes.
Into a buy and obey night, but I need to keep time on Sana ever. Into no later no movie from Coventry at the bar Manchester. Into no I think says so Nana and I name my into Italy or Bano. I know I you know so EU settlement scheme, but I'm with you soon. I don't know so I'm with you soon. And now say what happened, I don't really know. But you put on our say they said already be man. And so one farmer and so go to your banner and I'm training airport. And so I'm sharing say woman who said EU settlement scheme on yeah. And I knew I was on the man sabi remove her.
Yes.
And you say when free crew has say I'm Nemano, which is school fees,
yes.
Everything in your money I got to say, who say. Until now, I'm move from UK to Northern Ireland. And you see who say, but of a back.
Yes.
And I'm saying, no, me will lawyer be I'm sharing the program to next friend. Now, my good son say, if a bit to near Juma, in the bottom, the family good say, you bet to me, I will be there for Mama Nana, I'm going to never UK back and
yes. A bit might be far home, but obviously, you know, as I go into a lot of details, and this is an air program, so if you don't mind because of confidentiality, that's right, yes, but a bit to me, I be far home. The point is that, irrespective of what has happened, you know, but my only concern is also about last year, because they will normally expect the president to have been here before December 2020, and if
last year it was getting close to December now by.
Yes, if it is last year, then we do have a problem. But again, this is because normally, you know, for people who were here before December 2020, and when they say they were here, it's not me. It doesn't mean they were here physically. It means that they have proof of address to show that their presence was registered here. Because people can be here at that time, they were free to travel and all that.
Yeah.
So what they need is what they call residence documents. And you know, if you are not a friend is saying, "You better show me because na okoba na be anything that be so, and be na wa be GPB. If you me show ni na mu na ya application na no." The mechanic go for and say Home Secretary say, settlement scheme no, as far as the CRT no, it's going to be there indefinitely. And he's still free to do it. So, but I think saying how we take office number no now with the amount on and then casa because I have a public domain, you know. A casa will be in some of the so and I question check out. Matter yes, somebody was calling when this caller was on. That person can call back because it looks like I couldn't answer the call because there was somebody on the phone. And viewers, we have 2 phone lines here. I think that person is calling again. Caller, you're on air.
Hello.
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 Hello, caller, you're on air. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I want to find out, for example, if someone, a woman has given birth, like fresh at the maternity hospital, and she's just giving birth. How long after the delivery is she capable of getting a flight, getting onto an airplane and actually flying within the course of the law? I'm not sure if someone can highlight them there.
Well, I think. Hello. Are you there?
I'm still here.
Okay. Yes. If, to be honest, I think it's a matter for the airline.
Yeah.
But I'm not aware of any restriction on how long it can take for somebody to board a flight.
As long as they're fine, I guess.
Yes.
Healthy.
But if you have concerns, you can. I think he has dropped. You can ask. You can still ask the airline. But I'm not sure that there is any. I'm not aware of any law in place that allows people to be on maternity for a certain period of days or time before they
you can even travel with your baby as long as they, or you can.
But if you have concern or reservation, you can ask the airline you are buying the ticket from. I'm sure they will be able to.
I think it's up to your own discretion. If the person is feeling better, if they're okay to fly, then it's definitely
they should be able to fly.
They should be able to fly.
Because even when you check the flight, you hear that they say maybe from zero.
I know the only restriction is on pregnant women on how far along you are. This is because they don't want pregnant women to give birth on the flight. Because if you give birth on the flight, you're not born in a country because you just that could be an issue. So that's the only restrictions on pregnant women when they're like almost there. They should be flying, but that's it really.
I think Peter is expecting the wife to come as soon as possible.
I think the wife can come as soon as possible, if that's what you want.
Peter, find out from the airline of Peter. I'm sure your wife should be able to come, even if she's having your newborn baby.
Yeah.
Viewers.
Airlines accommodate babies because they have like the little court thing that they can put for the baby.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
We are still here. We are waiting for your questions. We'll be going away in the next few minutes. But whilst we are here, remember when we did this, the financial consumer law? Yes. Can you just give a little bit of summary whilst we are waiting for callers?
So basically we were talking about consumer laws and the kind of products that are covered under the consumer law that you can literally go back to the financial ombudsman and claim from your bank. So basically if you feel like your bank is charging you too much overdraft or unfairly, or you're getting your loan and they've given you that loan knowing that you can pay it back, because they do credit checks and they can see that you can pay it back based on your history of loans and stuff like that, but they still go ahead and give you the money anyways. Mortgage, pensions, whatever complaint that you have with your financial companies, you can literally bring a complaint to the financial ombudsman. If you don't feel like you are confident about if it's something that you can bring to the financial ombudsman, just go ahead and do it still. They will let you know whether or not it's something they can look into or not. So it's a very big and broad subject actually, because there's a lot of products that are under there and some of them that we don't look into. But if you do want to know more, if you have any financial product like credit card, loans, mortgage, things like that, and you want to, especially those of you that like to take payday loans, we were talking about that as well on affordable lending. If you're taking payday loans and you're in your neck with debts, do you know what I'm trying to say? Because you've taken one loan to pay the other, and you can't pay for it. This is something you can also approach the financial ombudsman in regards. So if you are that person and you want to know more, please go ahead and call the Citilaw so that we can give you more information on this. Because if you are not able to do it yourself, or you don't feel confident enough to, contact the financial ombudsman yourself, this is something that we can do for you.
Great.
Yeah.
So viewers, obviously you are aware that some of you will be entitled to compensation.
Yes, don't miss your money. Don't lose your money.
Yes, we've got some clients who are coming forward.
Yeah.
That's why we always do this campaign, because people sometimes don't know their right.
That's right.
And it takes one to come on a platform and then just talk about some of these things, and eventually become aware. Oh, that means that I have some money settled somewhere. I need to go for it. Let me acknowledge some prominent members of public who have joined us on this platform. Obviously, Ernestina, thank you. I have Ernestina Opuni. I don't know whether you are the one who called, but it was nice talking to you. I have Kofi Amwaten. It's a very good job, Thomas. I have Eric Nyako. Good evening. I have Joe Chaka. Sure, I am enjoying the program. Very insightful. Well, Chaka, I remember Chaka.
Yes.
I have Kombe. Kombe is working all the way from Bristol. Kombe is a solicitor in the front. Okay, so I have Joseph Ajay. I have Gabriel Bankori, highly favored Priscilla, Mabel Paul Mensa, Ajoa Aduchumwa, and then that's Nakakari. Yes, we are still here. If anybody has any question, this is your opportunity to get free legal advice. If you come to the office,
because if you come to those doors, you have to pay for it.
Yes.
So do it now.
Office, so this is an opportunity to get free legal advice.
Yeah.
You know, whilst we are talking about consumer law, I want to give a little bit of advice to those people who may be entitled or be making claims because of the storm, especially homeowners. Now, if you're a homeowner and you have this home content insurance, before you make any claim, because the insurance companies are always quick to riddle out of their, and most of us don't read before
the terms and conditions and the
terms
small
and
print.
conditions. I am also a victim.
All of us.
Yes. So my advice to you is that if there is a tree that has fallen on your car, if your roof has been removed by the storm, make sure that you check your terms and conditions of your insurance before you make your claim. Some of the insurance does not cover sometimes the fence walls, so you need to be sure, you need to check all these things before you pick up the phone. But what I also want you to know is that before you pick up the phone to call them, if you had, sometimes there could be some damage to the house, and obviously you call the insurance company, it might take them days to come. Make sure you take pictures so that you have evidence of it, because if you clear that damage, when the insurance company assessors come, they will say, well, I can't see the damage.
As a matter of fact, don't touch it until they get there.
Yes, I can't see the damage. And then they will find a way to riddle out. Don't allow these guys who have been enjoying your premium to riddle out of your
Exactly.
claim. Make sure that you keep your evidence. So that's my...
Isn't it amazing how you will pay insurance for like 3-4 years, and when it's time to claim, they'll give you grief?
They give you grief. But they give us grief because most time we don't read the terms and the
That's
conditions.
right, yeah.
You know, and then we just assume that we're entitled to it. And then the moment you phone them, and remember, whenever you phone them, the phone conversation is recorded. So sometimes you may say something that eventually they use it against you.
Yeah.
So people, my advice to you is that I had mine under my bed. I picked it up and read it when I saw the storm.
When they say it's for training and quality,
yes.
They try to trap you.
They try to trap you. Because I didn't know whether the storm will just take one tree or something.
And sometimes you're not covered against natural disasters.
That's right.
Because it's not,
It's not.
Sometimes you're not. It would say that like you're not covered against natural disasters. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. So you have to check it to see if that's something. Because if it's a storm, it's natural disaster.
That's right.
And so imagine if the whole of England was affected, the insurance company won't be able to pay for everything. So sometimes it depends on, what they can cover, to be honest.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it means that people need to look at the definitions of the terms. Whenever they are drafting these policies, they give definition of all the key terms. So people need to look at what the terms interpretations are, or what a commercial lawyer will say, the boiler points. So you need to look at all these points before you start making a claim. Otherwise, you allow these guys to riddle out of the claim, and then they will continue to enjoy your premium. It is very, very annoying sometimes when you keep paying, and then when it's time for you to obviously benefit, get some protection, compensation. That's the time they start teaching you their terms. We shouldn't allow that to happen. I have Sandra Ajapon, who have just joined us. Sandra Ajapon, Bodu, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We stay waiting. We have just about 5 minutes, and then we'll be leaving the studio. Remember, it is free legal hour, brought to you by Citilaw Solicitors. So if you have any question, I'm privileged to have Rebecca Kamara here from Financial Ombudsman. He's here to answer your consumer law questions. I am here to answer your immigration questions,
family,
and family
employment, so, everything else.
Full house. This is what they call full house. Full house. Yes. It's been amazing. Obviously, I'm going to just give a summary because there are a lot of good things that we've discussed tonight, so that people who are watching can take away the salient points that we've discussed tonight. Okay. Whilst at the same time waiting for 2 minutes for people to phone in. Yes. So, guys, tonight has been quite a wonderful show, as we do always. On Thursday, MC Chaka, who is currently watching and enjoying this insightful program and enjoying the pictures and the glamour that comes with it, is going to host the program on Thursday. Tonight, we've been discussing immigration, but obviously, because we are privileged to have Kamara, we've also discussed a little bit of consumer law. So, what we discussed tonight, we started this program by looking at the updates of the law. I have said that I have given 2 good news and 2 bad news. So it's well balanced. Let me just start with the bad news so that I can then let people get some joy for the night by giving the good news. The bad news is that if you are on bail pending deportation, then under the current bail policy that are being introduced, this came from the Conservatives Manifesto of 2015, which culminated or resulted in the Schedule 10 of the Immigration Act 2016. Now it has now been finally been implemented. So it means that if you are on bail pending deportation, previously you'll be a free person, you may be asked to sign on. Now they can put electronic GPS tag.
Wow.
It means that your privacy is going to be invaded. You'll be monitored 24/7. This is not good for
really
libertarians.
Bad. No.
Not good for libertarians. But that is the law now. Secondly, EU family members and EU citizens, we said that when the program EU settlement scheme commenced, it was quite generous and flexible. About 99% of applications were granted. Currently, as we speak now, late applications are going to be in place indefinitely. However, statistics show that 34%, whooping 34%,
that's a lot of people,
are being refused. And then there is also a backlog. And that backlog is so huge that, according to Home Office, it might take 24 months to complete some of the pending EU settlement scheme applications. So, guys, you need to be patient with your lawyers, including us, because the backlog is coming from Home Office. Yes. Good news. Punishment for claiming benefit as somebody who is on limited leave to remain. Now, as I said, originally, if people are on a 5-year route to indefinite leave to remain, the moment they have had problem or they are at risk of being destitute or they have financial difficulties, because one reason or the other they have a child, normally if they want accommodation from the council expects them to apply to remove the no recourse to public fund before they're able to provide accommodation under the Children's Act Section 17. Now, as we speak now, the good news for all of you, my fellow Ghanaians, including everybody who is watching us tonight, is that if for whatever reason you are able to apply for recourse to public fund, you will still be able to maintain your 5-year route to the indefinite leave to remain.
That's good.
So you are not going to be punished to be compelled to be switched to 10-year route. So that's the good news for people. Another good news is that finally, on the 15th of February, the frontline care workers scheme was finally added to the skilled workers occupation shortage list. 4 things that this means that people don't need to show any certificate if they want to make these applications. They only need to satisfy English language requirement if they are not applying from English majority speaking country like Caribbean, New Zealand, Australia, Canada. So if you're applying from Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, South Africa, you still have to do this English. And this English only requires you to do 4 things: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Once you've done this, you meet that requirement. Secondly, the financial requirement, whilst it is about 25,000 for other skilled workers, this has been reduced to 20,480, or £10, 10p an hour. If you are successful in that application, you can bring your partner, you can bring your dependent children. So, what else do you need? Now, the application fee is also very, 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 very cheap. Now, currently, as I said right from the onset, if you are making an application for limited leave to remain, you'll be looking at paying about £2,613, which means that the home office fees and then the NHS surcharge alone would be that amount. Now, this one, you only pay £464 only. And then the sponsorship certificate is £199. And there is no immigration skill charge. The frontline skilled workers, even though it is for 12 months, temporary, which means that within these 12 months, people will continue to apply. And they are also entitled to switch. So, for example, somebody came in as a front care worker, he's allowed to study. And eventually, he can also convert to a senior care nurse. She can do courses while she's here or he's here, and then eventually become a senior care worker or nurse, and then migrate to the skilled worker from the frontline care worker. Okay. So it's quite a generous program. So don't waste time. Those of you who have care companies, Citilaw Solicitors, we are here to make these applications to assist you to get sponsorship license so that you can recruit globally. You can recruit from Nigeria, right. You can recruit from South Africa, Zimbabwe, Ghana, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, everywhere globally. All you need is that sponsorship license, which Citilaw Solicitors, we are here to assist you to apply and be granted so that you can recruit these people who have been now added to the shortage list. And finally, our main topic for tonight has been looking at how those with limited leave to remain as a partner, as a parent of a child under the age of 18, but 7 years in this country, or born here in 7 years, or parent of a British, these 3 categories of people are permitted under the Appendix FM to bring their other children who are under 18 years from abroad. So, Akosua, if, for example, you came here about 2 years ago, you had a child who is British, you are currently on 2.5, 30 months visa, and your child has been crying at night in Ghana. She wants to join you, and you think that you cannot bring him or her. I'm telling you that there is provision there. Don't allow that child to continue to cry in Ghana or Nigeria. That leave you have allows you to bring that child to join you. Yeah. That's what we've been discussing tonight. Yeah. So if you have limited leave, 30 months, as a parent, don't allow your child to continue to cry at night. You are entitled to bring that child to join you under the Appendix FM of the immigration rules. So that's what we've been discussing tonight. Rebecca, if you have anything to say.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We really, really appreciate you calling in and, asking your questions. If you do have any questions that you feel like you still need to ask but you don't want to do it online, please go ahead and contact the Citilaw. The numbers are on the screen, and you can also follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, or your website. So from me, I would say thank you very much, and I will see you guys again next week. From Leo Thomas, do you have anything to say?
Yes, again, I have people who have joined us. I have Maha Malik watching. I have Sandra Japan Badu watching. I'm getting new faces tonight. Wow, I'm not sure you brought these new faces. And then I have Hannah Nji also watching. I have Charles Marfo. Mr. Marfo, how are you? I think I know Mr. Marfo. I have Thomas Say, my own cousin, Francophone. You know I'm half Francophone. I have a cousin who is Francophone. Right, so it's been a privilege having you on board tonight. I have been your pilot, air hostess, and we had just a wonderful show tonight. We're going to be here, hopefully. We are here next week, right? Yes, we're going to be here.
You're trying to trap me.
We're going to be here next week, the same time, 8:30 onwards. And then on Thursday, your favorite MC Chaka will bring to you the tree section. The tree section, no English. 2 things we can learn here. You can learn the law. You can also learn tree.
And you can learn to speak tree.
Yes. I have been learning tree. You can even watch and learn tree. I have been learning tree. And MC Chaka.
I'm enough Ghanaian to learn tree
yes.
right now.
MC Chaka is from a royal priesthood, so he's very, very good at the tree, and I've been learning a lot, doing the programming tree. So viewers, thank you so much for joining us. This is how far we can go tonight. It's been a privilege having you all joining the program tonight. Please share the links for those who have made the show to also benefit. Let them know that if you're on a 30 months, parents on 30 month visa, don't allow your children to turn 18. That is the announcement for you tonight. If you have 30 month visa as somebody who is a British born parent, or 7 year, you came here, you ended up giving birth to a child, the child is 7 years, you are on 30 months. Don't allow the sibling, the half sibling back home to suffer. That you are entitled to bring. Don't wait till indefinite, because by the time you get your indefinite, that child, 1, will either be more than 18, or 2, Home Office will say that you don't have sole responsibility, so we can't allow you to bring your child to join you here. So please, we are urging all of you to obviously seek advice and contact your lawyers to assist you. If you don't have a lawyer, don't go far. Come to us. We'll assist you. And I wish to also give a disclaimer that every advice we have given here under the Citilaw disclaimer is for guidance only. If you want to proceed on any matter, we advise you to see proper legal advice or get in touch with a lawyer. Thank you so much for watching us tonight. It's been a privilege having you on board. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you.
Bye.